Hello, all of you lovely people. So today is part 2 of my August 2016 favorites. If you're new to the channel and don't know what favorites are, that's where I list everything pretty much in the entertainment industry that I love for the past few weeks. I do split these up into 2 parts because I have way too many favorites. Kind of a favorite slut. I put links down below, so if you're interested in anything you hear about, you can watch the trailers, and I have affiliate links for stuff. So yeah, all that magical sparkly stuff. Woohoo! Let's get started. The book that I've really enjoyed this month has been In Real Life by Jessica Love. This is the story of Hannah and Nick. They've known each other for 4 years. They're best friends. The thing is, they have never met in real life. They only know each other through the internet, where they video called each other, they've sent pictures, they've talked on the phone. And then one day, Hannah decides to go and surprise Nick at a concert that he's having. She drives all the way to meet him, only to discover he has hidden some secrets from her, and she's hidden some from him as well. And it's just a really touching love story. It really struck a chord with me because I have a lot of internet friendships, and it's just so relatable. It's a refreshing YA novel, so if you need like a palate cleanser of a novel, this is definitely a fun, light, fast-paced read, and it's very relatable. Now moving on to the movies I've enjoyed. Again, I'm taking part in the 100-day film challenge, where I watch one film a day that I've never seen for 100 days, so there are quite a few movies that are going to be listed, and if you'd like to see my written reviews for these films, they will be linked on my website, which is down below in the description box. The first one up is the magnificent Emily. Emily is a film by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, and it stars Audrey Tautou, and it's the story of Emily, who has lived a normal life, but she's had big dreams. She sees the world as this big, bright, beautiful place. She's fascinated by sex, is in love with love. She wants to explore. She loves her job as a waitress. She loves her family. And it's just such a bright, beautiful, colorful film. It's a masterpiece. This is one of the best films I've ever seen. It's so beautiful, and I highly recommend it. Everyone needs to see this, especially if you're a film lover. Emily is an amazing film. The next film I want to give a shout out to is Ava's Possessions. Ava's Possessions is about a woman named Ava who has just gone through an exorcism and now must deal with the fallout that the demon that had possessed her has caused. She has slept with people's boyfriends. She has stolen things. She has caused fights. So she's coming to terms with herself. She's going to these meetings at church, and it's basically like Spirits Possessed Anonymous. And it's a funny, touching film that is very unique in the horror genre. It's a beautiful film, beautifully shot, and it's definitely worth a watch. The next film I want to mention is called Phoenix. Phoenix is the story of a woman who survives the Holocaust, and she has facial surgery. After her facial surgery, she wants to go and find her husband, but the thing is, her husband may have been the person who sold her out to the Nazis in the first place. So she finally does meet him, but he believes that she's dead, and he just thinks this woman looks a lot like his dead wife, so he convinces her to pretend to be his dead wife. I know that sounds convoluted, but it's a really fascinating film. It does lose steam as the film goes on, but it's an intriguing concept. The acting is spectacular, the film is gorgeous, and I do highly recommend you watch it. It's a stunning film. Even though it does lose steam towards the end, it's still worth a watch. Next up is The Little Prince. This is a Netflix exclusive film, and it's based off of the best-selling book. Even though I've heard this is quite different from the book, I've not read the original book. But The Little Prince is about a girl named the girl who has just moved to a new house in a new neighborhood so she could go to this really fancy school called the Worth Academy, and they end up moving into this eccentric neighbor named the Aviator. And the Aviator tells the girl about the story of how he met a prince, the Little Prince, and how the Little Prince fell in love with a rose, and he had to leave his planet and the rose behind. And it's just such a touching story about love and friendship and loss. It choked me up a little bit, I'll admit that. It was a beautiful film, and it's totally worth a watch. It's family friendly, perfect for all ages, and it's just such a gorgeous film to look at too. Like seriously, I can't believe how much work and effort was put into the visuals of this film. They're incredible, and there's an amazing voice cast attached to this film as well. It features the voices of Jeff Bridges, Rachel McAdams, Marianne Cotillard, James Franco, and a lot of other famous people, so I highly recommend The Little Prince. Next up is a film I can't believe I haven't seen before, and that is What We Do in the Shadows. This was directed by Taika Waititi and Jermaine Clements, and it also stars both of them. And this is a mockumentary that follows 4 vampires who are flatmates, and it just chronicles their lives as vampires. It's funny, it's touching, most of the jokes land, and I laughed, which is very unusual for me to laugh in a film at all. And I adored how they portrayed vampires in this film. I fell in love with the characters, and I have really high faith now in Taika Waititi's abilities as a director. I'm so in love with What We Do in the Shadows. I really want to watch it. And they're actually going to make a sequel called We're the Wolves, I believe. So super excited and highly worth the watch if you're into vampires. The next film up is Creep. This came out in 2015, directed by Patrick Brice, and it stars Mark Duplass. Now, Netflix told me I'd give this 1 star, but I'd heard mixed things about it, so I decided to watch it anyway, and I'm so glad I did because I really actually enjoyed this film quite a lot. And it's about a man named Aaron who basically accepts an ad on Craigslist to go film this guy named Joseph. Joseph is supposedly dying of cancer, and he wants to make a video diary for his unborn son to see. And as the day goes along, Aaron starts getting weird vibes from Joseph, and he doesn't know, am I just imagining this, or is Joseph actually a crazy person? And it's such a tense movie. It does have jump scares, but they never felt cheap to me. Plus, there's this terrifying wolf mask that's called Peach Fuzz that will never leave my mind. I highly recommend this film. It's a very short film, 77 minutes, so it doesn't outstay its welcome. It's a perfect adrenaline shot, and it's a unique film, and Mark Duplass gives an amazing performance as Joseph, so I highly recommend it. Next film up is Kubo and the Two Strings. I actually did a review for this film, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. Kubo is a masterpiece. This is a gorgeous film with amazing voice performances. It's a 5 out of 5 star film in my opinion, and you must watch this. It's Laika's best work to date. Check out my review for my full opinion. The next film up is High Rise, and this was directed by Ben Wheatley and stars Tom Hiddleston, Sienna Miller, Luke Evans, and Elizabeth Moss. And this was originally deemed an unfilmable film because this is adapted from J.G. Ballard's best-selling novel, and it centers around this tower block that's 40 stories high, and people live there, and there's stores and stuff inside this tower block, gardens, zoos. It's incredible. And the people in this building quickly degrade into barbarians. Their behavior becomes animalistic. The majority of this film is a contrast. You see the wealthy mixed with poverty. You see like dog meat served on fine china. You see blood filling a swimming pool. There's such a contrast, and I love it. I love the chaos of this film. And it's definitely one of those films that you want to watch again to pick up details you missed before. And of course, you get to see an almost completely nude Tom Hiddleston. What more could you ask for? This film is not for everyone, but if it sounds intriguing to you, definitely check it out. It is a non-fuck film, but again, I loved it, and I really want to watch it again. Next up, people are going to kill me for not seeing this sooner, but it's the original Total Recall. I've become a huge Paul Verhoeven fangirl. I love Total Recall. I love the story. I love the visuals, and yeah, totally loved Total Recall. I just now saw Pulp Fiction, which is one of my favorite Tarantino films now. It's not my favorite, but it's up there. I adored it. I loved the actors. Everyone cast was perfection. I love the story. Uma Thurman was a total babe. Just an amazing crime caper. Another film that I just now saw for the first time is the original Robocop, again directed by Paul Verhoeven. Again, it had amazing visuals. I love the unique cinematography. I love the story. I loved everything, so I'm a huge fan of Paul Verhoeven's now. And the last film I want to mention that I really enjoyed in August was Don't Breathe, which I just filmed a review for, so go check that out if you want my opinions on it. But I will say it's an amazing film that is not predictable in the slightest way, and it will totally subvert your opinions of home invasion thrillers. Now for TV, I really want to talk about My Last Days. My Last Days was created and directed by Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni plays Raphael on Jane the Virgin, and it chronicles the lives of people who have terminal illnesses and they're basically living their last days. And they did a special 3-night broadcast on the CW. My Last Days originally was shown on Soul Pancake, but the CW decided to do a special broadcast, and I'm so glad they did because they showed the lives of 6 amazing people, and every night I bawled my eyes out because I felt such a clarity and lightness and hope inside that these people who were going through so much and their lives were on the line still lived with such hope, and they had so many dreams and they were doing amazing things with their lives, and it just reignited my passion and determination, and it made me feel like I have a purpose, and it made me feel like no matter what, I can get through whatever life hands me. And it made such a mark on me, and I highly suggest you go watch it. I believe you can still watch it on cwtv.com, but it's so inspirational and I highly recommend it. Now, there are 2 podcasts I want to give a shout out to because I appeared on them, but they're also really awesome. The first one up is the Horribly Awkward podcast. That was my very first podcast ever, and I'm so happy and so glad that was my first because I had so much fun. Sean was amazing, and he is such a cool guy. He does these podcasts regularly, and he has guests like Maggie Carr, Leanne Mosley, so many amazing people from like the horror genre and his friends. And he's just such an easygoing guy, and he's so fun. We talked about so many fun things, but I will say it's pretty much 18 and older stuff. But I'll have a link to my episode down below, as well as a link to the official Horribly Awkward website, so you can check out his other episodes as well. But give Sean lots of love. And another podcast I want to shout out is Random Chatterings. I just recently filmed an episode with him, and I'm super excited for when that comes out. When it does come out, I'll share it all over my social media sites. But again, this is another podcast where we talked about video games and horror movies and stuff, and it was just so much fun. A YouTube channel that I've really been enjoying lately has been Naomi Kyle's channel. You probably know Naomi Kyle if you follow IGN. She works there, but she has her Ask Naomi videos, and I just think she's so positive and bubbly and fun. She's gorgeous, and it's just so much fun to watch her videos, and I think she brings something that we need more of in the entertainment realm or in YouTube in general. She just brings a positivity, love, and optimism. She just shares her love of nerdy things, and I just love that about her and her channel, so I'll leave a link to her channel down below in the description box if you want to feel the love and optimism and bubbliness and love for all things geeky too. And all the music I enjoyed will be listed down below in the description box as well. Let me know what you think about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, leave me a like. Let me know down below what your favorites have been for the month of August. Share the video if you liked it. Please do. That's actually a really big help for me. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video of mine. And you get to see more of this face and hear more of this voice. And see weird videos. That's the selling point. And if you'd like to follow me on any social media sites or check out my website, they're all listed down below in the description box. And we can be best friends for life. I love you all so much. Peace and kisses. Bye.